Sometimes I'm really thinking back about how life used to be before, and yeah, I really cannot understand how this all happened to me. And a lot of times I'm thinking, why me? But then on the other hand, I'm thinking also, why not me? It could hit, yeah, really anyone, anywhere, at any time. And yeah, I'm struggling at the moment. It's really tough because yeah, sometimes it's just tough to manage everyday's life, to get through the day, to hide my symptoms and my unwell-being at work, even though I'm lucky working from home, to hide it from my kids, not so much from my wife. I'm talking to her. I don't need to hide it from her. She knows what I'm going through. But yeah, it's a real struggle, because yeah, neurologically my symptoms improved compared to almost 6 months when all started ago. Let's say 5 months. I'm better neurologically, so my symptoms, brain fog, dizziness, deaf hands and feet and all that improved significantly. But yeah, I still, it's more a psychological struggle at the moment, because I'm still a lot of times fatigued, yeah, just totally without energy, struggling to start exercising again, even though that would really, and is really helping me once I have the energy and time to actually get myself up and do something. It's more around yeah, other things like, next to being fatigued, my lymphs are really swollen. So that has been worrying me for some time now. I really feel, well, let's say I had another breakout in December, beginning of December, high fever, night sweat, and swollen limbs, because I had and I was going through an influenza and a stomach bug. So my already weakened immune system from constantly fighting with EBV, yeah, got again a nice push. I'm being sarcastic, obviously, and yeah, that just opened the door to another critical fight of my body, or where my throat and my limbs were all swollen. I had fungus in my throat, which I then took antibiotics and made the reaction to my stomach and EBV even worse. But let's put that aside. My worry at the moment is of psychological nature, because my limbs are now really swollen here in my neck, throat, my body, also under my armpits. It has been reduced. Well, this is now already swollen since 4 weeks. I've been seeing doctors, several, because I'm double checking different ones. I do not really trust one at the same time, double checking with several doctors. And it's true, they have been getting smaller, but I'm now at a stage where they do not seem to disappear or vanish. And the more I'm looking and touching myself, the more I'm finding, let's say, other small lipomes, or let's say small dots that wouldn't really disappear or get smaller. And the doctors have been telling me, with EBV in your stage, after this, with your immune system still struggling but improving, usually if you have an infection, it will disappear after 2 or 3 weeks, and with your Epstein-Barr stage, it can easily take 2 or 3 months. Of course, some of them hurt, and that's fine, but yeah, I'm not really, my worry is of course that I have lymph cancer, which is perfectly correlates with heavy Epstein-Barr reactions and breakouts. So I've been checking my blood, been checking everything, my throat, my lungs. I even x-rayed my lungs. The initial results were positive. I mean positive in a good way, that there's nothing, but this is only since 2 days, and they're now doing the microanalysis. But even if that's fine, I mean, they didn't check or x-ray my neck or my armpit, just my lung, because now, surprisingly, after having been seeing the lung doctor, my lung is fine, but I mean, my lung function is fine, but apparently, which I had in the last 4 or 5 months, also on and off, struggling with my breath a little bit and coughing here and there sometimes. So apparently after checking my lung, now I'm supposed to have asthma as well, which doesn't really bother me that much in the greater scheme of things, because my main fight and struggle is still Epstein-Barr, that this is not going to be chronic, this constant fatigue and lack of energy and, let's say, easiness of getting a headache or pressure on my back of my head and other related symptoms. That's really my concern, number one. And my second equally relevant concern is that I do not get any associated diagnosis based on EBV, meaning lymph node cancer, leukemia, multiple sclerosis, or any chronic neurological damages. And it's again coming back to the beginning of my video, I'm really struggling psychologically at this stage after 5 months, because this is just messing with your head. What you could have. So going back to the doctors, they checked everything. My blood notes, my blood results were, for the first time in 4 or 5 months, were actually good. No immune suppression. All the blood results were in line. My red blood cells were fine. No inflammation anymore in the liver, in the overall body. Everything was fine, but I don't know really. I know this doesn't need to mean anything. Also, if you have lymph node cancer, your blood results and your a lot of, let's say, output from your body can be fine, and you can still have it. So that doesn't need to mean anything. So they didn't check x-ray my neck, my armpit. They didn't check a lot of things, which is fine. What their suggestion is to wait another 2 or 3 months to see if they disappeared or if they changed in size, getting smaller or bigger. Of course, if I realize there are more coming in my neck or increasing in size, then I should immediately come back and do it. But let's be honest, I'm not gonna give cancer that chance to wait 2 or 3 months and do nothing. I'm gonna check somehow some specialized blood results here in Germany to detect some early tumors and cancers. That I will do, better paid for it now and be proactive and having the chance of diagnosing cancer earlier than later. And I will try to do whatever I can, because the only way you can officially recognize and diagnose lymph node cancer is if you remove one of the limbs and do the biopsy in the labor. Via all diagnoses, even if in a PET, in a sugarized CT scan, they can identify that you have tumors and lymph nodes and something is growing. But even if then they see it in the scans, they would still then remove as a next step the lymph nodes and in order to come up with a result in the lab. officially confirming what you have or do not have. So yeah, it's as I said in the beginning, it's a mental struggle, and the more I'm digging, reading about cancers and about EBV and what supplements to take and not, and seeing doctors on a constant basis, the more I realize that our official classical medicine world doctors, they are just really touching the surface, and they are not educated and qualified with, let's say, new modern science like supplements, looking over the border and not only, I mean, looking outside traditional medicine. They are not really qualified to see sometimes early on the bigger picture and scheme of things. They would just traditionally assess you and say like, yeah, what are your symptoms? Have you improved since the beginning? Come back in 3 months, tell me how you feel, what your symptoms are. But if indeed I had cancer now, this would be a crucial and most important state to identify it now and not give let time be in the cancer, let time be in the favor of cancer. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just sticking to the routine now and doing, I mean, on the daily routine to keep working, keeping a healthy diet, keto based mainly. Fast not so much, because I've also lost some weight, but this, I mean, I have great appetite and I can eat a lot, but I lost weight, but that was mainly due to changing my diet, which also helps me a lot. But yeah, just trying to get through the day, accepting setbacks, also mental ones, sticking to the plan and do whatever I can now in order to just confirm or do not confirm that I have lymph nodes cancer and that something is not going on in my body. Because also now going to the lung doctor, I'm not really convinced that I have the, let's say, real traditional asthma. It seems to me the symptoms and the, let's say, overall connection in the bigger picture related to EBV do not fit at all. I mean, I could myself explain it with neurological asthma that is due to the inflammation of my nervous system and brain, still triggering some nerves, the vagus nerve that is attached to the heart and to the lungs, that due to this correlation and to this impact, I could have some negative impact on my lung, meaning my bronchitis are inflamed, and also that I have some heart symptoms. So therefore I also need to do and will need and are going to do in a short period of time a cardiological stress MRT, where they are checking, let's say, my stressed heart in the MRT. So yeah, and doing that kind of scan. So yeah, seeing all these doctors, of course I'm going to a alternative EBV specialist who's checking on my supplements, checking the chronic or latent state of my EBV and giving me immune therapy. Infusions, vitamin C and curcuma infusions, that also helps, but just gotta stick to it and kill that damn virus before it kills you physically or mentally, and you gotta stay through that. So yeah, just hope that my thoughts and updates will help any of you out there. This really helps me, and by sharing my experience, I don't know, it's tough, really. I don't know what else to say. So yeah, stick to the plan and accept setbacks. Have a good day.